So, first of all, stitch edge square. Perfect. Now, nesting dies are a really great die to have in your collection. For matting, for layering, but not only for those two things, because we all like a perfect mat and layer. And when I'm talking about matting and layering, it's that's the framing of a card. So when you're framing your projects, but these are perfect for that. However, they're also good for making your own card blanks, and I'm going to show you that throughout this hour, and lots of other things that you can do with them. So they're a really fun die to have, a good tool to have in your stash kit. So this one here is the stitched edge square. That's that one. And then in the range, in the squares, there is also, and I love this one. This one's really, I just love the tone effect. So this is the tone edge square. So again, but this, I'm showing you, look at this. All these dies you're getting on here, you're getting 11 dies for this. And each one perfectly goes within, coordinates within each one. Right down from the very biggest one, right down to the little tiny diddly one there, really cute little one there. But again, you wouldn't be able to do this by tearing it and getting that neatness around. So the die that you've got with it is helping you to create that itself. So that's the other square one. And then the last in this one is the scallop square. So we're getting the scalloped, right way, put my teeth back in, Debs, put my teeth back in. The scalloped square die. So this one there, again, showing you all those dies that you're getting. Again, in this one, you're getting 8 pieces, but each one perfect layer within each other. Beautiful. Look at this one. How amazing is this? Using the nesting dies again, but creates that lovely gatefold. Using those dies just perfectly. Each one matte and layer perfectly on top, and then just turning that onto the side and creating that lovely card, and then add all your other little elements to it as well. Beautiful, really lovely. I love this one, just really lovely, stunning effect. This is using the stitch edge rectangle dies and the tone edge dies. Mixing and matching is what I was saying, where you can mix and match. So what we've used here, or what Jess has used here, is the stitched rectangle to create a lovely matte and a matte and layer effect, and then she's switched it up and used the tone one, and then gone back to the stitch one, and it looks really lovely. So this is what I'm saying about where you can mix and match the dies. So although you get one of the sets, you can take another set and mix and match them, and they look amazing. That's a perfect example of that. This one's really fabulous, and again, one of our lovely cards by Jess, using the stitch edge rectangle. And what she's done this time is created a lovely little window scene. So she's used a background paper, and I recognise that background paper. I'm trying to think where I've seen that background paper before, but really lovely. But think of all the other things you could do, stamped images in the background, and created a lovely window effect. Really pretty, lovely. I love that one. I'll show you a couple more, and then we've got using the we've got the rectangles, the rectangles again, and again mixing and matching. So what she's used here is the stitched edge ones and the torn ones, and again on here, and use them, and then inside as well, just to create. I mean, there's some amazing samples. There really is, really beautiful. Love this one. Just have to show you this one. Look, when you pop it open, how lovely is that? By using these dies, this is what I'm talking about. These are not just nesting dies, as in for matting and layering. This is when you're taking it into a different level, just creating some amazing cards. That is absolutely stunning. Love that one. That's our Margaret who's done that. Gorgeous. Let me just show you another lovely one here. Really beautiful. Again, little fun element just inside to create like an aperture. There we go. And then inside there, beautiful. What I think we'll do is we'll crack on with a demo straight away, just to show you how they work and how fun these dies are. Really lovely, fun and easy to work with. So let me see, what do I need for this one? Let me make sure I'm getting the right one. I'm going to use the square, and I'm going to use a scalloped edge square. So I'm going to take this off. Now you can see on here you've got 8 pieces on there, so each one, like I've said, all matte and layer within each other perfectly. What I'm going to use to create, because I'm going to make my own card blank with this one. I know we can go out and buy them if you want to go out and buy them, but why go out and buy them when you've got dies that we're giving you that can do this for you? So this is the outside one that I'm going to use just to create the mats that I need. So I'm just going to take some craft card. Now what I've done is I've taken a piece of craft card and I've just folded that in half, so scored that in half with our guillotine and scoreboard. And what I'm going to do to create an easel is I'm just going to place that over, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of an edge. So I'm not going to actually, can you see there? I've left that little bit uncovered. What I want to do now is just tape that down. So I'm going to take a bit of our low tack tape, just pop that on there, and I'm going to take that onto the onto the card. Just pop that there and that side, and then I'm going to run this through the Gemini. So I'm going to place that onto my plate. I'm only using my Gemini for this, and I'm going to just run that through. Now, it is a couple of pieces, so what I think I'll do first, I'm going to try it without my magnetic shim. Talking about pressure within your Gemini, because that is just a nice straight edge die, what I think I'll do is I'll try it without the magnetic shim first. So I'm going to run that through. Let's just make sure you switched on, Debbie. There we go, feed that through. Now, if it doesn't cut through both pieces, because it's cutting through 2 pieces of cardstock there, if it doesn't cut through the first time, what I can do is just add the extra pressure. So let's just have a look and see if it's gone through. Yeah, I need the extra bit of pressure. So I'm going to put on my magnetic shim, but I'd rather do it this way than go in with all the full pressure, because like I said before, not so much that you damage your plates, but it's just, I always take Leanne's, I've always got Leanne on my shoulder here, sat here when she said about starting with a lesser pressure and building up if you need so. And it's the best way to protect your plates, for want of a better word. Right, so let's just take that off, because that's gone through lovely. There we go. Just take it off carefully instead of yanking it like I normally do. There we go, just take that off. Whoops, and I have given it a little bit of a tear, so it's a good job I made one earlier, but we'll just pop that in the bin, pop my die to one side. But then that's created that lovely shape, and all I'm going to do now is just score along the middle part there. So in good old shoe crafter style, that's exactly what I've already done, and I've already created that fold. So we've given it a little bit of a fold, so that's going to create the easel part of your card. What I need to do is add the front part on. So, oh, now then, what have I done with my craft card? Oh, it's here, look. It's here. Panic over. So I'm going to place on now, using that very large die that I had first, so that's the outer part of the scalloped. I'm going to pop that on, and I'm going to run that through. I'm just going to take that down on one side this time, because I know I need the extra part. I'll just pop it all in. You don't want to see me running Gemini plates back and forth to get me right pressure. Right, so, oh, you can hear that lovely crunch. Always a sign it's cut when you can hear that crunch. Pop them there, and just take that off, and that creates the lovely matte part. So if I just take off the tape, get rid of my little bits. My bin's a bit full again. I'm gonna have to empty it out for later. There we go. So that creates the part that goes, she says. Right, there we go, to create there on the front. So I'll stick that bit down. Let me just move this to one side. In fact, I know what I've done. Never mind, not to worry. Always the way here to start. So what I'm going to do is just move that to one side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my mat and layers. So I'm going to take off the next part, which would fit over lovely there. Can you see there? That's going to fit on. And then I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, and I've just used some from the lovely So Lovely range, and I'm going to pop that on there as well. Sorry, don't need it on that one, I need it on the cream one. That's the way to go. And then that one on there as well. So I'm going to put those on, and we'll just do those one at a time. There we go. I'll pop that on. Now I can't get both on, or can I get both on? Would I be able to squeeze? Oh, I can, easily. Even though it's my junior, even though it's a smaller plate, I can get both of these on. So I'm just going to place that on, and run that over. My other plate, oh, that I've put at the front. What am I like? Normally quite organised, she says. Not normally. So I'm just going to run that through. There we go. Yeah, lovely. You can hear that lovely crackling and crunching again. Right, so that creates another layer, and then we've got another mat, and again that creates that perfect mat. So they all sit within each other, and look how perfect that is. Now you try doing that with a pair of scissors. That wouldn't work, would it? Can you see there? Perfect matting and layering with each one. Really lovely, crisp, clean cut, perfectly I mean, you can see just how they match there, and I could carry on with the rest of them if I wanted to and build that up. However, that's not what I want to do. So let me put that to one side, and I know exactly what I've done. So it's a good job I thought about it afterwards. I used, let me just rewind, don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. I used the rectangle one, is what I used for the outer image. So I used the rectangle one to create that first mat. So let's just bring that back in, because it would help, Debbie, if you use the right set and not mix and match them, because this is the square one. However, the beauty of live TV, what have I done with my little scoring tool? If you just give me 1 second, I'm just going to go and grab my guillotine. Let me go and grab that from over here. Right, so I'm going to give that a score line halfway through. So let's just give that a little bit of a score. And that creates that fold that we've done. Just pop that to one side. And then, there we go. There it matches perfectly now. So instead of I've done a rectangle one, I've now altered it. I've changed my demo mid live TV like you normally do. But yeah, I've changed it into a square. So we'll do that again, and I'm going to just stick my layers together. So I'm going to take a bit of tacky glue, and I'm just going to run that across here. In fact, yeah, I'll just pop that on there. And now, because I'm making an easel card, I don't want to put my glue all the way across there, because if I do, it's gonna ruin the effect. So you just want to glue down the bottom half to match there, and that creates that lovely easel finish there, like that. There we go. And then I'm going to pop on my other mat just on the top. Let's get this on. Again, a bit more tacky glue, or you could use your runny glue, cloud glue if you wanted to do, or your tape pens. And I'm just going to pop on the next layer on there. So I'll pop that next layer on. Pop that on there, and again, just perfectly matching and layering. There we go. So let me now see if I can, because I had prepped everything for my rectangle, but trust me, picking up the wrong die to start with, it's all going live on TV, or should I say live in the craft room here, just a little bit skew whiff. Not a normal way that I would do this, although if you do watch me on Create and Craft, this is what can sometimes happen when I start a demo. I start it with one meaning and how I'm going to go on, and then everything goes all wrong, but hey ho, that's the fun. And there's never any wrong thing in crafting, never any wrong thing. So going back to my rectangle, so pretend I'd cut the rectangle out, so we'll move that to one side, and I'll do my matting and layering now. So we'll do exactly the same, and I'm going to pop my tacky glue just onto the back. I'll place that on. And then again the same way with the matting and layering in the rectangles. I'll place that on the top. And let me get my other piece just here. What I'd already pre-cut earlier this morning. So I'll pop that on there. And then inside I also want to have a little bit of a mat and layer. So again I've taken another rectangle and cut exactly the same to create that lovely matte effect. This matting and layering is just looks lovely when it's all, when you've got the right tools for the right job, it makes your life a little bit easier. However, just make sure you pick up the right set when you're demoing. So I'm going to pop that onto there. That creates that lovely matte there. So we're going on for that rectangular look. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is find me other loose little bits that I've got all prepped up here. And we'll put this card together, and hopefully you'll never even know I made a mistake. So I've taken a lovely sentiment from the sentimentals, the everyday sentimentals, and this one is a thank you, so a lovely thank you card. So I'll pop that on there just at the front. In fact, we'll have it on a little bit of a corner. Just going to add a few little flowers I've pre-cut, just add a few, layer these up. There we go. In fact, pop that one down there. I'll have a couple more in this corner. And this corner, let's build these all up. I might save, yeah, I'll put a little one on as well. A couple of little ones on. Right, so again, everything that I'm using today in these demos is things that are on the website as well. So this is again from the Everyday Sentimentals, it's the flowers. So then what I've done to create a little tiny stopper is I've used the very small, let me just bring this in here so you can see that. I've used the very small die to create that lovely little stopper, and all I'm going to do is I think I'll use my 3D Kalal glue for this part because I want to raise this slightly. So what we'll do is pop a little bit on the back. I'm going to act as a stopper, so I'm going to pick that up, pop that in the middle, and then I'm just going to add a little bow, use the glue again, pop that down and pop your glue on. Now I'm going to let that dry, but I'm just going to show you the finished effect. So what I've done using just, well, if I'd have started off right with the rectangles and not the squares, but this is just showing you what you can do. So if I just show you now that, if that's got to let that dry a little bit, but that creates that lovely easel effect. There you go. You see that? Just by taking that lovely die set, the rectangle ones, and using that to create the easels, the matting and the layering that all go on top.